Hey there everyone, Turkey here. Today I'm going to be looking at Dawn of War 2 Retribution, or rather a very popular mod for it, which is known as the Elite mod. What is the Elite mod, you may be wondering? It's a very ambitious mod that is basically trying to make the game overall better in different ways. It originally started as a way to rebalance the game. That was their only aim originally. And it was done by people that played the game quite competitively in the multiplayer and whatnot. They were unsatisfied with how the game was balanced, how certain factions just weren't as good as others, and they decided, you know what, we love this game, we're going to try and make it a bit better. Unfortunately, with THQ going bankrupt, support for the game dwindled, so they took it upon themselves to make this mod even better. This mod would go from being simply about balancing the game to making it just better, just overall better. I'm going to look at different aspects of what the mod provides, and there is a lot of content to be found here, I'll just say that right now. But let's take a look at the different parts that make up the Elite mod. The first thing to mention is there are actually new maps included within the mod. This is nothing groundbreaking by itself, but it's still good. It's still a really good feature. You're getting a lot of maps for free, done to the quality of the developers themselves, I would say. I'll be honest, I'm not going to go too much into this. I haven't tried all the maps yet, but the ones I have sampled seem to be good. They seem to be balanced. I didn't see any problems with them. They looked like they were designed very well with I assume there must be some kind of map maker for this game. No, I was very impressed overall. They've got different themes as well, and they haven't just limited it to one type of map. They haven't just done new maps for 1 versus 1 or 2 versus 2, whatever. They've added quite a few maps in all the different categories, so plenty of new maps to play around with. That alone is worth trying the mod for, in my opinion. But there is more. Another minor thing they've added is unique skins for certain Space Marine chapters, Chaos Warbands, certain Orc clans, and even a few Imperial Guard regiments, I believe. An example of this might be, for example, one of my favourites, I think, if you pick the World Eaters for the Chaos Warband, your Chaos Lord actually looks like a Khornite Chaos Lord. It doesn't change how they play, it's just a modification to how they look. And you do see a lot of mods like this for the game at the moment, which is good. Most of the ones I see are good, but the ones included in this mod are amazing. Again, it doesn't really change how the game plays, it doesn't make a huge impact on your playstyle or anything, but I think it shows another element of effort that they've put into making this mod. They didn't really need to include skins with the mod. They could have easily let someone else worry about that. They could have easily said, just download a mod. Just download whatever skins you want. We really don't care. We're just working on balancing the game. But the fact that they've included this, I think, is a very nice little feature, and one that I hope doesn't get overlooked when people look into playing this. As I've probably said multiple times by now, the whole purpose of this mod, the main priority, is to balance out the game. To make every faction viable to a certain extent. And does the mod do this? Well, I believe it does for the most part. I'm not the best person to ask this question, simply because as many hours as I've put into this game, most of that has been playing offline games, doing the campaign, maybe playing with friends every so often, but that's it. My play time on multiplayer is very limited. And you can probably tell by my stats, if they're displayed somewhere, that I haven't done much multiplayer. However, I do remember in vanilla Dawn of War 2, factions like the Imperial Guard felt very underpowered. I know for a fact that pretty much anything could kill the basic infantry, and the only real advantage the Imperial Guard had were their tanks, and even then, I'm sure there were plenty of units that could counter them. But if you go to their website, you'll see they have a changelog, and this displays everything they've changed, everything that the Elite mod buffs, nerfs, just downright changes from the default game. And if you do look at it, you can see that the Imperial Guard have been buffed quite a bit. And even playing it a bit, I haven't had a chance to play too many multiplayer games since I've re-downloaded this mod. But from what I can tell, the balance seems fine. At the very least, it seems better than what it used to be. I would say the mod's main purpose has been fulfilled. And even to this day, people are still arguing whether certain units are balanced, whether more changes need to be done. So they're still working on trying to get that perfect balance for each faction. And when they finally achieve that, it'll be a good day for this mod. Making Dawn of War 2 more balanced is obviously a great feat within itself. But what if I told you there was more to this mod? What if I told you there was another faction? The unique faction I'm talking about is the Grey Knights, a playable faction that plays quite similar to the Space Marines, but with their own unique twists, their own unique units and cooldowns. So far this faction only has one hero, the Brother Captain, basically a Terminator Space Marine, which is interesting because so far the only character that starts off as a Terminator is the Chaos Lord. So finally there's a Space Marine sort of faction that actually starts off, or throughout the whole game, has a Terminator as their main hero. Something I found quite interesting. You can upgrade him with different weapons, different psychic abilities. In fact, psychic abilities is a key thing here. The Grey Knights are known for having really powerful psychers. I'm not going to go into too much detail about all the different units, since I think you should try them out yourself if you ever download the mod, but I will tell you they do get some very interesting ones. Off the top of my head, you get the Vindicare Assassin. Yeah, you remember him from Dawn of War 1? Yep, he's back. And from what I can tell, he seems to function the same way, being quite vulnerable, quite easy to kill, but good at infiltrating and very good at taking out key targets. Another key difference I should probably mention is that you get two different squads of Terminator units, but they are made from the base itself, and they're tier 3 as you'd imagine. But while you may not be able to summon Terminators anywhere on the map, keep in mind these Terminator squads, you can get as many of them as you want, but you can still call in a Land Raider Crusader, a Land Raider variant which is packed with, as I like to say, heavy dakka. Not to mention the animation for when it comes in. I believe it's dropped down from a Thunderhawk. It's attached to a Thunderhawk. The Thunderhawk comes in, drops it off, and then flies away. But being able to drop a Land Raider anywhere on the map, pretty useful and pretty fun, I must say. Very good for holding certain areas. If you're a Space Marine fan, or even just looking for something new to play, I would recommend trying the Grey Knights. But what's my favourite thing about this mod, aside from the other amazing features and the new faction? It's the fact that everyone gets some new units and new things to play around with. Space Marines get Stern Guard veterans, Vanguard veterans, very appropriate to the lore, I must say, and very powerful squads in their own right. The Imperial Guard get Cadian Shock Troopers as tier 3 units. The Eldar get Dark Reapers and Fire Dragons like they did in the previous game. Chaos get their own Land Raider variant as well as Chaos Terminators. And my favourite, Flash Gits, which can be brought in by the Orcs at tier 3. There's probably some units I've missed, in fact probably quite a few, But what I really love about this mod, even to this day, is the fact that it includes units for every faction. So even if you download this mod and say to yourself, well, Grey Knights are fantastic, but really I want something to convince me to go back to playing Chaos. I want something to make playing Space Marines fun again. Whatever your favourite faction is, there is something for everyone. And I would like to think in the future they're probably going to add even more units. To top it off, the units have been designed in such a way so not only are they fun to use, but they're balanced. Everything has been considered for balance to make, and even now, anything that isn't balanced is most likely going to be remedied soon in a future patch. What I'm trying to say is, if you're a fan of the Warhammer 40k series, if you're a fan of Dawn of War games, why haven't you downloaded this mod yet? The mod may not be on a huge scale, or attempting to be on a huge scale, like the Ultimate Apocalypse mod from the previous game, but in its own way, I actually prefer this over any other mod I've played for the Dawn of War series. If you haven't tried it already, then please, give it a go, and tell me what you think. Hopefully you'll get as much of a kick out of this as I did when I first played it. Thank you for watching, guys, and have fun.